So, one of my favourite things to do is to travel. Since growing up, I just always found the experience so exciting and rewarding. My mother moved to Ireland from Denmark 20 years ago, and therefore in my family we prioritise two cultures, both hers and my dad's. We live in Ireland, but we travel to Denmark every year in order to experience my mum's history and her people's way of life. It's always my favourite part of time, and since I've been doing it so long, it really has become embedded in who I am as a person. And I'm so grateful to have had that experience growing up, as I know so many others don't. I think the reason that I like these holidays to such happy times, and I link them to such a happy time, is because of how easy life is while we're over there. What I mean with easy is that we don't have to worry about things like most school, money, or work. My parents have always prioritised these cultural crossover trips, and any money they could, they would put towards the holiday. It meant that we could travel to so many different parts of Denmark, and they could show me what I really needed to see to fully experience and understand my history and heritage. It may have meant that I didn't have the coolest shoes or the coolest clothes, but I could feel and really understand my two cultures that are a part of me. What helps, of course, in travelling to a new country and to understanding the culture is knowing the language. I was also lucky enough that my parents worked hard to instigate the Danish language into me and my siblings. Growing up, we also got the opportunity to travel to other countries, and again, I got to experience these amazing cultures. It was through this early introduction of different ways of doing, thinking, and acting that I became the person I am. I didn't just accept my country and its values at face value, but I could compare it to another. I could see what was better and what I thought worked well for me. This ability to see how special it is to recognize different cultures is something that I began to practice, especially when I was 10 years old. That year held such a great experience for me, but it happened at a time when I really needed it. My family moved to Denmark for 4 months, and I had one of the best times of my life. I went to school, I spoke the Danish language, now a lot more fluently, and I made Danish friends that I still know to this day. Most importantly, I fully integrated myself into the Danish culture, which I really loved. I learned about bicycle traffic, table manners, how to eat a hot dog nicely, still working on that one. But it also impacted me in a far different reason though. At that time, I was having a hard time with a few girls from my small, one opinion, country school, where people had lived there for generations and generations with their family members. This leads to very not diverse opinions. After a couple of incidents, I had a really low opinion of myself, and since there were so few girls in the class and they were all in on the joke, if you can call it that, I had a really hard time questioning whether what they were telling and doing to me was right. Their actions became normal, and this normality had no clue that it was maybe not okay. Everybody around me accepted that it was okay, so I never thought to question it. Having this completely different experience in a brand new country like Denmark helped me to recognise that what was happening wasn't good. When I returned to my class, they kept on continuing their old insults and incidents, except this time I could stop it because I could actually compare my experiences and recognise that it was wrong. I could understand why I was so angry and sad all of the time, and I became so much more happier. Though the bullying continued, now in a subtle, more clever way, I knew that it was not right, which is the first step to fixing it. Although it sounds a little cheesy, I do believe that travelling, or just educating yourself on different cultures, is one of the most important things that you can do. Human beings are living their lives, and we need to see how they do that. We can't improve ourselves or our surroundings if we don't. It's the reason I'm here at FFI. I believe the only way I can learn anything, and in turn become a better functioning member of society, is by having these new experiences in new environments. We have so many amazing ways to see these places, by train, bus, or just a quick Google. So why not learn about them? Prioritise having these experiences in different countries to improve your empathy, understanding, and acceptance. In Ukraine right now, they're facing devastating circumstances, partly because of arguably a failure of education and acceptance of different cultures. Even in Northern Ireland, which is so close to us, there was a breakdown of communication between opposing sides because a lot of people just weren't willing to learn about those around or even neighbouring them. If we travel and we put in effort to immerse ourselves into these new cultures, instead of villainising each other, we could potentially prevent future world conflict. This simple openness can lead to so much and make a big difference to anything from 10-year-old me to an international relationship. As they say in Denmark, vi ved med at lære, keep learning. Thank you.